Pounded und er steigt zum Rücken, setzt zum Rear Naked Choke.
At this point now, I'm totally wrong. Nice work.
Judo is a modern Japanese martial art that focuses on unarmed combat with the objective of throwing an opponent to the ground, immobilizing them with a pin, or forcing them to submit using joint locks or strangles. As an eclectic martial art, what sets Judo apart from its predecessors, particularly Tenjin Shinryu Jujutsu and Kito Ryu Jujutsu, is its emphasis on randori, which literally translates to free practice or free sparring. Additionally, Judo is known for its minimal reliance on strikes and the use of weapons in both competitive matches and free practice sessions. The effectiveness of Judo in street fights has been widely recognized by various security forces. It's no surprise that law enforcement agencies in several countries require their officers to master this martial art. However, is Judo truly effective when applied in competitive settings against professional fighters? To find out, let's take a closer look at some of the fights that have been compiled for you. Let's begin with a fight between Judo and Muay Thai. Without further ado, let's watch the match unfold.
That was Jonathan Sanchez in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks.
At the start of the fight, the Muay Thai fighter aggressively attempts to strike his opponent. However, to everyone's surprise, the judoka effortlessly takes the fight to the ground. A lengthy ground battle ensues, with both fighters struggling to gain the upper hand.
That's the hold he was going for.
Back. A lot of submission techniques. Doing a little bit of ground and pound, not much, so the referee's going to restart.
As they get back on their feet, the judoka once again brings his Muay Thai opponent to the ground, a position that works to his advantage. And as expected, with a highly impressive submission technique, the Muay Thai fighter is forced to tap out before his arm suffers serious damage.
At this point now, I'm totally wrong. Nice work.
Wow, nice work by Sanchez there getting on that.
Oh, he's tapping.
Yeah.
For your information, the fighter without a shirt is the judoka, while his opponent is an MMA fighter. So, who will emerge victorious?
Round 1. Fight!
As soon as the referee signals the start of the fight, the MMA fighter aggressively launches a kick at his opponent. However, the judoka manages to hold his ground and counter effectively. In a swift turn of events, the judoka successfully shifts the momentum in his favor by taking the fight to the ground, utilizing his grappling expertise. Then, with a well-placed strike to the MMA fighter's face, he sends his opponent crashing down. Seizing the opportunity, the judoka follows up with a flurry of attacks, securing a decisive victory. Just like in the previous fight, this judoka once again faces off against a professional MMA fighter. But will the outcome be the same this time? Surprisingly, the MMA fighter comes out aggressively, launching a series of attacks on the judoka. However, the judoka remains composed and handles the situation with remarkable calmness. What's impressive is how the judoka skillfully turns the tide in his favor, seizing the perfect moment to take the fight to the ground. Once on the ground, he capitalizes on the position, landing several precise punches straight to his opponent's face. And finally, with a signature judo submission, the MMA fighter has no choice but to accept defeat. This video showcases yet another impressive fight, where the judoka in blue faces off against an MMA fighter. Right from the start, the judoka demonstrates his superiority. In an unexpected turn, he lands a solid punch that catches his opponent off guard. What's even more remarkable is that despite his shorter stature, the judoka successfully takes the MMA fighter to the ground by the end of the first round. At one point, he even lands a precise strike to his opponent's temple, momentarily disrupting the MMA fighter's control.
硬吃之后马上还拳。好漂亮！
As the fight comes to an end, the final score is tallied, and the judoka is officially declared the
这
winner.
是环抱挡不了了，直接进入了膝盖固定3位打。
This time, the judoka steps into the octagon to face off against a kickboxer. For reference, the judoka is wearing red boxing gloves.
Stand behaupten kann, ob Oliver ihn direkt runterholt oder ob er sich im Stand
The
austestet.
kickboxer's first mistake is engaging in a clinch with the judoka. In this position, the judoka can easily take the fight to the ground. This works to the judoka's advantage, as ground fighting is where judo excels. It's no surprise considering judo heavily relies on submission techniques to force an opponent to tap out. And just like that, with a single swift maneuver, the judoka locks in a submission hold, leaving the kickboxer with no choice but to surrender.
Poundet und er steigt zum Rücken, setzt zum Rear Naked Choke an. Der ist auch fest, der ist unterm Kinn.
This fight might be a little different from the previous ones. Here, the judoka, wearing a black headguard, goes up against a karate fighter, who is wearing a white headguard. At the beginning, both fighters are extremely cautious, carefully analyzing each other's movements before committing to an attack. Before long, the karate fighter makes the first move, launching an attack. However, the judoka seizes the opportunity and skillfully takes the fight to the ground. And in an instant, the karate fighter begins tapping the mat repeatedly, signaling his submission and confirming the judoka's victory. Just like the previous match, this judo practitioner once again faces an opponent skilled in karate. But will he be able to defeat his opponent this time? As the fight begins, the karate fighter appears to have the upper hand, applying constant pressure. The judo practitioner keeps backing up, trying to maintain distance. Not wanting to remain on the defensive, the judo fighter eventually attempts to bring the fight to the ground. However, it's not an easy task, but after some time, he successfully takes the karate fighter down, shifting the battle to a ground fight, securing his victory in the match. Once again, the judo practitioner steps into the ring to face a karate fighter. For reference, the judo practitioner is wearing a red belt. Right from the start of the match, the judo fighter showcases his aggression. As you can see, the karate fighter, who is wearing a blue belt, is struggling to keep up. And it must be acknowledged, the judo practitioner is highly skilled at handling his opponent's attacks while also delivering effective counterattacks against the karate fighter.